This evening, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx announced a series of charges related to Saturday night's shooting of 2 Chicago police officers. One officer died, another is recovering, but at last check remained in critical condition. It's stirring up emotions and pressure. Amanda Vinicky joins us now with the latest. Amanda.
Yes, Paris, those charges range from unlawful possession of a weapon to murder. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown says 38 police officers have been shot at so far this year. 29-year-old Ella French was the first to be shot fatally in more than 2 years. French was on duty in Englewood Saturday night near West 63rd and Bell when she was part of a patrol that pulled over a car. We learned this evening from Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown that pullover was for expired plates. Now, that car had 3 occupants, a pair of brothers and a woman. Brown says there is no evidence to charge that woman, and otherwise they would. But State's Attorney Kim Foxx is bringing murder charges and attempted murder against 21-year-old Emote Morgan. Both he and his 22-year-old brother, Eric Morgan, also face gun charges like unlawful use of a weapon by a felon.
There's one reason why this happened. One reason. These 2 offenders killed Ella French and tried to kill the 3rd and 2nd officers there. That's the only person we're pointing the finger at today.
Separately, the U.S. Attorney's Office this afternoon announcing charges against Jamel Danzy of Hammond, Indiana, who allegedly served as a straw gun purchaser. Danzy admitted to buying the gun that was used to shoot and kill French. He bought it for a friend from Chicago because he apparently knew that friend, one of the Morgan brothers, that is, could not legally or purchase or possess a firearm due to a criminal conviction in Wisconsin. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin called that infuriating, saying he's tried without avail to crack down on gun purchasing. The gun dealers who make their profits from these deadly transactions have fought our efforts, while their political fans mock Chicago's efforts to monitor gun sales. We have lost one of Chicago's best to this disgusting enterprise. Now, Durbin is calling on the Department of Justice's Chicago Firearms Trafficking Task Force to commit to what he called a coordinated investigation and prosecution. Alderman Gilbert Villegas, meanwhile, saying that he has been speaking with police officers who tell him that they're frustrated, hearing in one breath that they're being portrayed in a negative light with calls for more police accountability. And then on the other, he says the mayor's office and Brown and the CPD putting officers in a position where he described it as they're doing more PR work than police work.
Right now, this day and age, we're at war right now with the gangs. And what we need to do is take untie the arms of the police officers and let them do their job. We have communities that are being held hostage by these gangs. And then at the same time, we're telling the police to go in there. And they're concerned because they're not being given the support that they need to get. And then also you have issues where they're concerned about being the next victim themselves.
The Chicago police honoring French's memory, but also, according to certain media reports, some officers took out that frustration on the mayor, turning their backs on her when she went to the hospital to visit French's partner, who has not been named. The mayor's press office sending a tweet in response saying, "Now is not the time for divisive and toxic rhetoric or reporting. This is a time for us to come together as a city. We have a common enemy, and that is the conditions that breed the violence and the manifestation of violence, namely illegal guns and gangs. The mayor is focused on healing the wounds and will reject any and all that try to use this moment to further divisions in our city." Now, this is a sign of the pressures that the administration is coming under. Alderman Villegas saying that communities held hostage to violence do want police there taking action. While he did not explicitly call for Brown's resignation, he did say that the superintendent's strategy for combating violence needs to change.
They want the police to lock up these gangbangers that are holding these constituents and holding these folks hostage. They're just frustrated too. So I'm frustrated. You can tell from my comments here. Something needs to change, and I'm here ready to work. But there just needs to be a better strategy put in place, in my opinion, and a different course taken, because we are seeing the same numbers every weekend.
Among the changes that Villegas wants to see more money going toward police technology. For example, he said Shot Spotter, which detects gunshots. Organizations, however, that back Chicago's new community police oversight ordinance say that is not the answer. Instead, it's the opposite. You have Shamar Hemphill. He's with Iman, saying that the key to reducing crime, or at least a first step, is investing in communities.
It's not only just the sole act of one individual, it's a connective tissue. When you think about, lack of investments taken out of communities, lack of education, opportunities, lack of real, job trajectories. You couple that with the inability around housing and the housing crisis.
Hemphill again saying that community oversight, giving an opportunity for people who have been, he says, particularly those who live in Black and brown communities who've been historically ignored or subject to unjust treatment by the judicial system. This is giving them a voice, and that is a step toward change. Now you have Superintendent Brown also being challenged about the wisdom of officers making traffic stops for reasons like expired plates, given those dangers. A question to which the superintendent took umbrage. He says, but for stops like these, cities wouldn't be safe.
Criminals who possess illegal guns are driving violent crime here and everywhere in this country. And officers put themselves in harm's way stopping suspects like this so that we can all sleep safely in our homes at night.
Brown says that French's partner is making incremental recovery, though he did give no true update on that officer's condition. He went on to say police have recovered more than 7,500 illegal guns this year. Each, he says, as was the case Saturday night, an opportunity for an officer to face violence or even death. He says yesterday, just a day after French's murder, they recovered another 33 firearms. Brown ending this evening's press conference indicating that many officers are demoralized after calls from movements seeking things like defunding the CPD.
Criticism, hypercriticism to a certain extent. When they do something well, no acknowledgement, no penetration in the news cycle of their great work for any consistent way, only the criticism of the mistakes they make without acknowledging the risks they take.
Now, the Morgan brothers, meanwhile, have a bail hearing set for tomorrow. Paris, back to you.
All right, Amanda, thanks for that comprehensive reporting on another difficult week.